Cheers, YouTube. TGIF. A new video to share with you some of the recent finds. I was able to pick up some great stuff on vinyl that I've owned on CD over the years or had copies of on vinyl that were just not in the greatest shape. And I wanted to share those with you. Novel concept. But it's all stuff that I've listened to and familiar with, and some quick thoughts, and really just to share them with you more than anything. On to the vinyl. First, I finally found a really nice copy of Deep Purple's Made in Japan double live LP, recorded over 3 nights in 1972. Still with Ian on vocals at this point. David Coverdale had not joined the band yet. Recorded in Japan, hence the title. And just, oh man, this has just been on so many best of lists. You know, even here in the vinyl community, you know, choosing for the letter D and best of lists, this is just always up there, and it's always so easy to see why. I've seen a couple of members show this lately, and it's one that if you have even a passing interest in 70s rock or metal, it's not to be missed. Deep Purple does not get mentioned enough or as much as a Led Zeppelin or others from that period, and they definitely deserve to. Phenomenal album. Second, I've never owned on vinyl, and I was so happy to finally find a copy. This is Jethro Tull's Living in the Past. An extraordinarily elaborate presentation. This is a double LP set. I'm a big Jethro Tull fan. I love Tull. It's the first LP in here, and just photos of the band, and over 50 photos. This Living in the Past set is a compilation that was put out to capitalize on Tull's success with Aqualung and I believe Thick as a Brick. And it goes a long way to collect a lot of B-sides, rarities, singles that were only released in the UK, and it has one live side as well on the two LPs. And it's hardbound. It's in great condition. I actually just finished listening to this both LPs and just blown away. Very definitely a great entry point for Tull. They're not folky like they would be later, or very proggy, progressive like they would be on some albums, and just overall a great early sampler to their bluesy sound, right through to some of their lighter progressive stuff. Tremendous album. I love this. Moving on, very simple pickup in Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. My copy of this was just decimated, and not only is this great for its cover art with the mobster style, but also its song selection. And I think this is notable because this collects the greatest hits of the Alice Cooper band, right, from the first handful of albums, Love It to Death and $1 Billion Babies. It was after this that Alice would go solo and create, you know, epics such as Welcome to My Nightmare, and on and on and on. Such a great album. 2 Pat Travers LPs. I'm a big fan also of 70s rock and 70s heavy metal, which I know by today's standards isn't really heavy metal, it's hard rock. But at the time, it absolutely was heavy metal. And this is Putting It Straight. I love 2 things about this album, besides Pat's guitar playing in the songs. I love the cover. You can see Pat auditioning for this record company executive, and take good note of how everything is in order, Pat's playing. And then the back cover, Pat has completed his audition, the office is completely shot to hell, and everything's a mess, but Pat, right? Thumbs up. And that's the heavy metal dream for every teenager. And much like the Jethro Tull LP, it's one of the beauties of collecting vinyl is you have this full format in the cover, the sleeve artwork to work with and do something with, and that's just been so lost on CD. So lost. But besides that, this also has a pre-Iron Maiden and Nico McBrain on drums, and Nico, what have you, is never anything shy of phenomenal. This is a tremendous LP from, I believe, 1977. I also picked up Pat Travers' Heat in the Street. This was released after, right after the last LP, Putting It Straight. Another tremendous song set. Tommy Aldridge had just recently departed Black Oak, Arkansas, and sits behind the drum kit on this LP, Heat in the Street. And Tommy Aldridge would go on to play with Ozzy Osbourne and Whitesnake and so many other tremendous artists. Just another phenomenal LP. Again, with the starting on the back this time, we have the band sunning in the street and the police beginning to descend here. And of course, the trick being the police are all women who proceed to join the band. Again, just another phenomenal example of 70s, late 70s, 78 heavy metal and the fun and the play that you can have with this format. Mickey Thomas of Jefferson Starship fame and Starship fame's Alive Alone. I thought this was a phenomenal LP. I just happened to spot this in a bin. I knew who Mickey Thomas was and couldn't leave it alone. This is from 1981 and just a tremendous release. You know, Mickey was a member of Starship, Jefferson Starship at this point, but under contract to release one more solo LP, and he did. This is the voice that many of us from the 80s know is singing We Built the City, Sarah, that Starship. Just nothing special, but a great early 80s rock LP, and one I'd recommend. Uriah Heep's Innocent Victim. I love Uriah Heep, such a great band. This one I hadn't heard before, and it left me a little bit cold in terms of Uriah Heep. It's not a bad LP, and not one I wouldn't be happy to add to my collection, but it's not as good as their earlier releases that had come before this return to fantasy and so forth. Still, overall, a really solid late 70s hard rock heavy metal LP. I was tremendously happy to find this copy of Mountains Climbing. I'd only heard about Mountain. I hadn't really heard too much outside of song clips, and it's fantastic cover art. Mountain has Felix Pappalardi on bass and producing, and Felix had, of course, had his background with Cream and with Clapton, and a lot of that sound carried over here, and it blended with the sound of Mountain, which for me is very guitar thick and full of distortion, and sounds a lot like Black Sabbath, early Black Sabbath to some degree. Except, instead of Ozzy, you have Leslie West, who's the lead singer of the band. There's Leslie there. And Leslie is just this behemoth of a man, but with such a falsetto voice sometimes. It's really amazing. Mississippi Queen was the hit here, but I have to be honest, the song The Laird is a tremendous song, sung very sweetly by Leslie and played just as heavy by the rest of the band. I've been listening to this a lot lately. It's a tremendously good LP. Two more to go. Bachman Turner Overdrive, so Out from the Ashes of Black Belt and the Guess Who come Bachman Turner Overdrive. It's a gatefold, and one thing that's notable, and I'd like anybody that knows to leave me comments, please, down here. It has its sleeve, right? So here's sleeve 1 with the LP, and sleeve 2, which opens, but it's not a double LP. And per the song listing, it's not supposed to be. So if anybody knows and can let me know, was there supposed to be a booklet that went in there, or what am I missing from this? Otherwise, as far as early 70s rock goes, this is just a flat-out rock album, or metal. I guess, yeah, early metal album. That's okay. It's for what metal was then. Just a great listen. This has Stayed Awake All Night, which, if I'm not mistaken, Crocus, the Swedish heavy metal band, covered on their early 80s, 83 release. Headhunter, another great album. It's phenomenal. Pick it up. And last, my upgrade copy of Dio's first album with Black Sabbath, The Pinnacle, Heaven and Hell. I know this was recently chosen by some users as their pick for Lazarus's 1980s thread as their 1980 choice, and it vied for my top spot as well, and I'm using this opportunity to show it. It's tremendous from start to finish. Just really a great album, song for song. Absolutely iconic cover art. I remember this from being a kid and seeing it in my brother's collection. Now I have it. I love this album. Everyone, that's it for me for right now. Keep your eyes out. I'm going to shoot a couple more videos. I picked up quite a bit. So I have some new jazz finds that I want to share with everybody. Some new just big cheese 80s finds that I want to share. So I'm going to try to shoot a couple more videos this weekend. Keep your eyes out for them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for spending a few minutes with me tonight. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Ciao.